Oh, I said we couldn't afford to concede the first goal, otherwise it was going to be a tough day. Truth be said, it was a tough day from the start there, and I've not said this much this season, I really haven't, but the opposition deserved it more. They wanted it more than us today. I can't believe him saying that under a Ten Hag team, but we just didn't. We didn't have as much bite as Newcastle did. We flattered to deceive. We got into some promising positions, but then failed to be clinical in the final third. We didn't get enough territorial possession in their half to even start dictating the play. It was just a difficult day all around to watch, and I think United players walking off there will be more disappointed than the fans, because I think that they would have looked back on that game, and when they analyse that game this week back at Carrington, they'll probably go, we could have been a bit more braver with the ball. We could have done a little bit more because we had opportunities to. But if you don't take your chance in this game, if you aren't clinical enough in the final third, you don't take that risk, and you don't have that little bit more guile, that little bit more zest about your play, then the opposition will want it more, and everyone wants it more when United come to town. This place in particular, I said it in the road trip, I said we go 1-0 down, the atmosphere will grow, because the atmosphere was flat. It was flat. The Newcastle fans didn't chirp up until the goal went in, and United had the opportunity to take advantage of it. We were more than in the game. Yeah, first half I thought we should have gone down 1-0, honestly, at least. Newcastle were the better team in the first half as well. I'm not going to take anything away from Newcastle today. They just played better. They wanted it more. Their players are more in tune with their system and what they're playing. And Ten Hag has piped on about this over the last few weeks now. When he said it's like the inconsistency of our starting lineup, the cohesion in our play. You can see it now. That's 3 games in a row now for United without a win. That's the first time that's happened this season. 3 games in a row in the Premier League without scoring a goal. Conceding 9 in that process. We've got +4 goal difference. You can see where the problems are. All season it's been the same. We're good, we're better, and we are improving, but we need to score more goals. Marcus Rashford having an off day today kind of proved where our lack of goals is. If Rashford doesn't score, who else is going to come forward and score a goal? It didn't look like anyone today. I thought we defended well enough, and then Ten Hag rolled the dice at 1-0, bringing both centre-backs off, taking the risk. It went a bit kamikaze and chaotic, and they got the goal. But you got to look at simple mistakes that we made. The ball that went into Martial, it was his first real test. He didn't win the 50-50, and from that they broke and they got the goal. It was a great cross in from Ramirez. Great vision and great timing on the header from Saint-Maximin, and then Willock was there in the box for the simplest of task. It was a very good work goal. You got to give him credit for that. And you know what? That would open up any team. So I've not really got that. It was a 50-50 Martial. He lost out. He's only just come back, and he took advantage of it, Newcastle. What happens with United after that? A silly mistake, well, a silly foul from Luke Shaw gives them the free kick, and then for some reason we've got Wilson unmarked in the box, player just off the bench, a bit cold. How he's finding that space? Was that because both our centre-backs and our defence was a bit mixed up? Possibly. But again, you've got to take responsibility as a defender to see and stay with your man. It looked like Shaw was with him, then it looked like Lindelof had lost him, and in the end I couldn't tell. But it was because we'd gone gun-ho, we lost our shape, we lost our rhythm, or what rhythm we did have. And by then the game was done and dusted. I did say we lost the first goal, and then it was going to be an uphill task. It proved that way. I mean, I've not got a great record here, and it continues on for next season. The worrying thing is, though, it's like that big six. Well, I don't even know what the big six is anymore, because obviously Chelsea and Liverpool, do we count them as big teams? But our away form in these big games has been shocking, as what has let us down. I said before the game, do we get dragged back into the mixer? Well, after tomorrow, we could be out of the top 4. And then it's a test of your mentality. How are you going to react to being out of the top 4 for the first time in God knows how long? I mean, I can't remember how long ago it was. Was it last year that we were out of the top 4? That's how comfortable United have been. But now we're back in the mix. We've got the games in hand and we should be okay. But this result here today just drags us back in and makes the next 2 games even more important. Old Trafford is going to have to be a cauldron. It's going to have to really be it's going to have to be up there, and it's right behind this team, because we are looking a bit jagged and jaded now. The season is starting to get to us. I was just saying inside the stadium there, then I remember it under Mourinho, and to be honest, Mourinho used it as an excuse back then. Ten Hag hasn't done it this time, but when you're in the cup competitions, it does affect the league. Teams that aren't playing 2 games a week at this stage of the season, that have got more legs and have got a bit of quality about them, are going to take advantage of your sloppiness. And like I said, we were in that game. We were more than in that game, and we could have done more, but it just looked like we couldn't. And that was the problem. I think Ten Hag will look at it and go, well, again, mixing it up and looking at the team changing consistently like it has been, and the front line suffering more than anything. Jadon Sancho came on today. I thought Anthony was our best player, to be honest. I thought he was our best attacking threat. And then Sancho comes on, it seemed to die down that side. The worrying thing was the fact, like I said, Rashford having a poor game today, and then we just didn't look like we had any idea of what we were going to do in terms of how we were going to create a goal. Sabitzer, I think, came the closest. It's a block shot. But when you've got a team like Newcastle are chomping at the bit, they've got revenge on their mind after the cup final. They're going to fight for every single ball. You have to at least match that. I don't think we did today. And like I said at the start, I'm a bit disappointed that I'm saying that we didn't deserve anything today. You know what? Yeah, the Liverpool game, that was an anomaly. I can't even say that word right. I don't even want to try and say that again. But that was just one of them one-off games where we just lost control completely. Today was different. Today was a game that we could have won and we were in. But we just didn't have enough, and we didn't have as much as the opposition, and that's the disappointing thing in all of this. And you've got to look at that and go, credit to Newcastle, they deserve the win, and they go into the top 4. Third place, we're just on the edge, depending on what happens tomorrow with Everton and Tottenham now. I mean, with Everton and the way Tottenham playing, God knows, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know what? It could be the kick up the arse that we need. It could be that little bit that just gives us that bump now going into these last few games. Everton and Brentford are must-wins. It's that game in hand and just puts us back in where we was before and shuts games like this down. But next season, we have to be a lot better in these bigger games away from home. It's all right beating all these teams at home, but that's Newcastle have taken 4 points off us this season now. It's a bit disappointing. We've not managed to score against Newcastle all season. The cup final was the cup final. It's a one-off game. But in the league, United need to be at least registering goal in these games, and we're just not looking like we're threatening enough. It will come. I think changes will come, obviously, for next season. In these big games, it may not even be the same personnel. What we want to see now going forward towards the end of this season is these players here that played today looking to prove to Ten Hag that they want to be part of this team next season, because today we were just a bit disappointing, to be honest. There's a lot of angry United fans going out there. I'm still not completely disappointed with how the season's gone. We've still got a lot to play for, and I'm not going to let it get on top of me. I just feel like today Newcastle wanted it more, and they got the result that they deserved today. It's as simple as that. Days like this are going to happen on occasions like this. United and some of these players just need to learn that it's going to be a hard game every single week. Sometimes, maybe, it will catch up with us. I think today was one of them days. Another tough away day after an international break. We seem to get them all the time. And it just seems to be that little things, the little bits that disrupt us going through a season. No excuses. Newcastle deserved the win. They were the better team. And in the end, United go home, lick the wounds, but have to bounce back very, very quickly. Brentford on Wednesday, Everton on Saturday. Big games. Win them too. You can sort of start forgetting about this, like I said, and look towards them last 9 games of the season. Don't. We've got a bit of a problem, especially in the Premier League. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get that reaction that I'm looking for. Cheers for watching, everyone. Like, share and subscribe as always. Cheers for tuning in. Hopefully we've got better things to shout about and more to talk about in a positive sense come Wednesday and Saturday. Cheers for watching.